Hello, I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We hope you'll continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. Deciding to homeschool your child can be a daunting and life-changing proposition. As more and more North Carolinians look to homeschooling as an educational option, one state charter school is educating students across the state via virtual classroom environments for free. Sound interesting? Meet Nathan Curie, principal of North Carolina Connections Academy, and Kris Yerkie, their secondary math teacher. To both of you, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you.
See, I think this is really exciting stuff, and I wasn't aware of this. So for our viewers who probably don't know a whole lot about it, please tell us about it.
Oh, very good. Well, thank you so much, Bill. North Carolina Connections Academy is part of the Connections Academy group, sponsored and partnered with Pearson. And Pearson has been in the education business for a very, very long time. And so what Pearson has done for almost 13 years now, they looked at states and they looked at a different delivery model for schools in a virtual setting. And so across the country, they have opened up many Connections Academy schools. And we're very fortunate they looked at the great state of North Carolina and saw the need for virtual schooling. So in October, charter was submitted to the state, and around the beginning of the year, in February, the charter was approved by the State Board of Education. And what it does, it allows flexibility for our parents to access an award-winning curriculum with North Carolina certified teachers, to access the curriculum and to be more and more engaged and interactive with the state curriculum. And the great thing about, as you said earlier, Bill, that this is free. It is a public school in which we serve students with all disabilities, we serve students with all talents and certain special skils.
Well, let's talk about who you serve. You know, I could see this as being huge for the homeschoolers, for instance, but I know that's not, you know, all of the students you serve. So who are we talking about?
Well, we really serve kind of every student, and there's no one particular student that we aim to provide education for. It's an opportunity for any student in the state of North Carolina to enroll.
What are some of the reasons folks would do this? See, maybe I should rephrase that. I look at this and I don't know as a student I'd be disciplined enough to sit in front of a computer, but I know this is the 21st century. There are expectations on the part of the student and the parents, correct?
Correct.
Absolutely. So before our students are really enrolled into our program, they actually go through an orientation program just to make sure that this is the right fit for both the student and what we call the learning coach, the parent. And sometimes the learning coach doesn't have to necessarily be the parent. It could be someone that the parent really trusts. For instance, we have students who, they have aunts and uncles who are retired educators. So those parents really feel comfortable with that person serving to help out as a learning coach. So 35% of our student population comes from the homeschool. About 42% are coming from the traditional bricks and mortar school. So we serve a variety of kids, and again, they come to us with a lot of special talents. But we're really proud that we have a diverse population, and we serve about 52% free and reduced. So when we look at charter schools, and when we look at the sector, a lot of the misconceptions is that we're serving a different clientele, but over 50% of our students do receive free and reduced lunch.
Well, you're a math teacher.
Yes, sir.
I was never very good at math. But so how does it work online in a virtual classroom? And you have kids of all varying degrees of knowledge. Is it more individual, or is it like a classroom environment?
It's really the same as if I was teaching in a brick and mortar setting. It's really no different in terms of what I'm providing in the big picture for students with math education. I do have an opportunity as a virtual educator to provide more personalized and more individualized instruction, but I also do group instruction as well. So it's really no different than if I was in a brick and mortar setting. It's just the platform or the way we're communicating might be a little different.
And the curriculum, very similar to a traditional public school?
Absolutely. Our curriculum has actually been approved by Advanced Ed, so it has this accredited curriculum as well as an award-winning curriculum. We review the curriculum every year, so to make sure that the standards are certainly aligned with the state as well as the assessment.
I mean, this sounds too good to be true, to be honest with you. There's got to be a downside. What's the downside? Is there?
No, there's no downside. Again, this is public school, so it is free. It's a very simple, easy process to go in to begin the enrollment process, and then we actually assess students. The great thing about what we do is flexibility. So too many times, I like to use the term rethinking education. We look at the traditional model of education, which has been the same for years. And we expect it to, I guess, fix itself without us doing something to try to change it. So what we do is we look at that old-fashioned models, what I like to call it, where kids have to be at this age and this grade, and we actually dispel that myth. We look at the kids' skill set. So if kids are able to perform at this particular skill, then we're able to move that kid to the appropriate grade level. And so kids are able to have the flexibility to really advance and accelerate into our program, as opposed to waiting 180 days for the school or for educators to determine if they need to go to the next grade level. We're able to make those decisions at the onset of things. And it's very fluid, so we're able to change that along the year if kids do need to move to match their skill set.
See, I think that's huge. That's huge reform in education, because it sounds like you're teaching more to the individual.
Absolutely.
Not all, kids who are 10 years old, for instance. You're really talking about their abilities. How does that present any issues with you, having different age groups?
I actually think it makes me a better educator in the big picture of things, because I might be the high school math teacher, but I have students that are maybe at the 7th grade level or 8th grade level if they were in a traditional brick and mortar setting, but they're taking a high school level math class. So we really try to match the student, like Mr. Curie said, with their skill set and where they are in their education.
Now, traditional schools offer something that maybe a lot of folks might think you don't, and that is socializing, getting together with other students. It's one thing for a homeschooler because they kind of get it, but you have a lot of kids who may have come from the traditional environment. How do you address that?
That's right. Now, also let Kris, because Kris actually deals with a lot of field trips for our school, but we believe that the social piece for any kid is very important. It's what I call the holistic approach, where we look at the kid's social, emotional, and academic needs. And so first becomes the social piece. And believe it or not, because before there's academics, there has to be that social connectiveness to what we do. So we provide a lot of extracurricular activities as well as clubs. We have National Junior Honor Society, which was founded by yours truly there. We actually have science clubs, we have chess clubs, sports clubs. We have about 17 clubs that kids can participate in. The field trips, we have done several field trips throughout this year, and Kris has really coordinated the field trips throughout our 1,500 students.
It does seem, and we're running out of time, so we didn't get into the actual dollar amount, but you're doing it for less than the traditional public school. And if I understand it, there's a cap.
That's correct.
You're at your cap, and you have a long waiting list. Is that true?
That is so much true, yes.
So the desire is there. How do folks get a hold of you and want to learn more about it?
Oh, absolutely. So North Carolina Connections Academy to our website, as well as through our social media outlets, Facebook and Twitter. And on the website, there's links on enrollment, there's links on our school, curriculum, teachers. And the great thing about it is we're actually governed by a governing board. The difference between our charter board and the regular public school board is those members are elected. Our board are volunteers. They are parents, they're educators who really want to improve the education here in North Carolina.
I think this is exciting, and to both of you, thank you for taking time out of your busy day.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, now we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll find out how a virtual education suits one family's needs perfectly. Stay with us.